Hi everybody, I'm Dan Brown and I am thrilled to be here at Barnes & Noble Storytime. Thanks for joining us. Today I'll be reading from a book called Wild Symphony, written by myself and illustrated by the very talented Susan Bathory from Budapest. And before we start, I should tell you this is a different kind of book. Most books you can just look at, but this book you can also listen to. And to give you an idea what I'm talking about, we made a fun little video for you. So here it is. When I was growing up, my parents decided not to have a TV, and so I played piano and read a lot. I loved music as a kid, and I still do, and I had an idea to share that love of music with young people. And so I wrote a picture book called Wild Symphony. Wild Symphony is about a musical conductor, and it's a mouse. Maestro here is going to be our guide through the entire Wild Symphony adventure. At the beginning of the book, you'll learn that Maestro Mouse is preparing to put on a concert, gathering his musical friends from all over to play in his orchestra. It has a giant blue whale, an anxious ostrich, even some gruffly snuffling dancing boars. Each one of these animals, in addition to playing an instrument, offers the reader a little wisdom, a little trick to life. The frogs in the bog urge us to be our own unique selves. The clumsy kittens teach us that when we fall down, we should get right back up and try again. And Cricket Lullaby reminds us about the importance of getting enough quiet time and rest. For each of the animals in Wild Symphony, I wrote a piece of music that reflects each animal's special personality. Whether it's upbeat and fun like bouncing kangaroos, or zany and silly like busy beetles. These 21 pieces of music were performed by the wonderfully talented Zagreb Festival Orchestra in Croatia. We're using a brand new technology to deliver the music and the reading experience simultaneously. We're using augmented reality that enables a cell phone held over the book to instantly recognize what page you're on and play the right song for the right animal. As a kid, I loved secrets and codes, so I hid some in Wild Symphony. I concealed on every page a simple anagram. Jumbled letters hiding in the grass or sky or ocean or animal's fur. Letters which, when placed in the correct order, spell out the name of a musical instrument from the orchestra. It doesn't matter how old you are, what language you speak, where you're from, music has enormous power to bring people together. One of my greatest hopes for Wild Symphony is that it provides an opportunity for parents and kids to come together and enjoy beautiful illustrations and stories that teach, and of course, a whole lot of fun music. So now that you have some idea what Wild Symphony is all about, I thought I'd read some of the poems to you. I'm going to start with a poem called Bouncing Kangaroos. Here they are, and here's the poem. Kanga, kanga, kangaroo, teach me how to bounce like you. Bouncing high, bouncing low, bouncing everywhere you go. Bounce to run, kaboing, kaboing. Bounce for fun, kafoing, kafoing. Bounce and eat, ka-choo, ka-choo. Bounce asleep, ka-snooze, ka-snooze. When you shake your kanga tail and bounce along the kanga trail, I wish I'd bounce like you. I want to be a kanga too. And the moral of that little story is that while it's great to admire the skills of others, don't forget that you have special talents too. The next poem is Clumsy Kittens. Here they are. Jumping here, landing there, tabletop to kitchen chair, tree to fence to porch to roof, floor to couch to stool to oof. Even though they sometimes fall, they don't seem to mind at all. Always landing on their feet, never crying in defeat. When life trips them up a bit, cats just make the best of it. Falling down is part of life. The best thing to do is get back on your feet. I'm going to read a couple more here. The next one is called Wondrous Whale. And here's the big blue whale. The biggest creature of them all isn't hairy, mean, or tall. He's sleek and kind and soft and blue, long and smooth and gentle too. 100 feet from mouth to tail. Yes, you guessed, a big blue whale. A whale can do a wondrous thing. Underwater, he can sing. It's how he talks to other whales and shares with them his whaley tales. His voice can echo through the sea 200 miles and sometimes 3. So if you ever take a swim and dare to stick your headway in, you just might hear a distant song, a whale who hopes you'll sing along. And the moral there is that if you listen carefully to nature, you'll hear conversations all around you. And the last poem I'm going to read is called Cheetah Chase. Here's the cheetah. The cheetah is the fastest animal on earth. Here we go. You can't see her creeping low, inching forward, slow, slow, slow. Even when you squint and stare, you see nothing. Nothing's there. Then whoosh, a flash of yellow fur, a streaking blast, a cheetah blur. In a heartbeat, she can shift from super slow to super swift. When a cheetah runs so fast, her cheetah speed will never last. And so she stops to breathe and rest. A baobab tree for naps is best. She gives a yawn and then a snore. And then kawoosh, she runs some more. The moral is that it's important to give everything you've got, but don't forget to take time to rest as well. Now, as we said in the video earlier, there's some music that goes with this book, and to give you an idea how that music is created, we have another short little video for you that I hope you like. Thanks for joining us on Barnes & Noble Storytime. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. My mom was a classical musician and my very first piano teacher. When I was 5, I began writing little piano pieces, and now, decades later, I still enjoy composing music. Today, the pieces I write are a bit more complicated, many involving a full orchestra of instruments, but every composition starts right where my love of music began, at the piano. Once I've developed a musical idea on the piano, then comes the really fun part, building the orchestral arrangement, one instrument at a time. I use a sequencing program that lets me compose different musical parts for each instrument, and then hear what each part would actually sound like as part of the overall arrangement. Once I've added all the instruments I want, I can sit back and listen to a rough draft of what the piece would sound like when played by a live orchestra. Then, working closely with producers, arrangers, and orchestrators, we mold and fine-tune the musical arrangement until it sounds exactly the way we want. Once everyone is happy with it, the orchestrator creates the score, the sheet music from which the performers play. Getting ready for a live performance requires a lot of preparation. It's always exhilarating to hear a composition come to life. Once the orchestra has rehearsed and refined the performance, then comes the moment of truth, the live concert. I find it incredibly exciting to hear a piece live for the first time, but I always remember where it all began, at the piano.